Welcome back to another video. Today I'm explaining another Fire Force captain, and one of my favorite Fire Force captains, Soshiro Hauge. Now, Soshiro Hauge is the former captain of Special Fire Force Company 4, as well as in close relation to Panko Pat. Of course, he's an elderly man, but he's extremely useful with the tools. Now, background: as a member of the Fire Defense Agency, he rose up the ranks of the organization before becoming a member of Special Fire Force Company 4 and gaining the respect of all his company. He even taught Panko Pat, who eventually took over for him. Now, during the Great Disaster year 196, Soshiro 3 scars across his face and had an Adola link, but he is not one of the pillars. You can have an Adola link but still not be one of the pillars. It doesn't go hand in hand, though I don't think I explained that. That'll be a different video. Anyway, abilities: Hauge displayed no pyrokinetic abilities. He was a capable and dangerous fighter with an expertise with firefighting tools and found ways to formidably use them in combat. He can also use safety wires to quickly constrict, as we see in the arc where they run across him, and restrain targets before they could react, and use fire axes with deadly efficiency. Even in his old age, he was able to wrangle and empower opponent with ease, and even jump out of a second-story window and land gracefully. Of course, we see him in the Preacher Pursuit arc. We see him in the 5th Pillar arc, where Hauge receives a report from Pan dealing the mass infernal outbreak. While he is glad the damage was lower than the event 2 years ago, the captain expressed guilty over companies for delayed response. We also see him in the Stigma arc, where he's up against a white clad member. Of course, cannot spoil it. I will not spoil it. We will get to that soon. And most anime episodes are delayed. Ooh, actually, the time you'll see this, it won't be delayed. So no, you won't see this until about next week. So we'll see the episode. And the Great Cataclysm arc. Of course, there's not much more about him. Of course, he has a granddaughter that we meet in the story, Asako Hauge. We also know he was targeted by the White Clad multiple times and was trying to be killed multiple times. Also, he is able to see multiple things. He is physically dominant in all his fights and approaches in case of anything. Other than that, it's not really that much on him. Hopefully we get a prequel show that shows all the fire company captains at their peak. Would love to see it. But then again, Fire Force is done, so we'll see what happens. Of course, spoilers, of course, Fire Force is a prequel to Soul Eater, and before Fire Force there was regular humans. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.